Sup, fuckers? Welcome to Spiritual Successor, comedy video game design podcast, where we take your wonderful, delicious, horrible video game ideas and turn them into the next AAA video game titles. I am one of your hosts, Blake Ray. I'm in a fast-ass mood because I had to pause Poppy to do this damn thing. AJ, introduce yourself. God.
I'm AJ Hart, and I also want to finish this episode so that we can finish the podcast as soon as we can, so that we can get back to listening to Poppy. He won't stop listening to Poppy.
I was listening to Poppy. This whole conversation, AJ and I were having a bunch of conversations. We were talking about the buyout, by Blizzard and all, like the serious topics, right?
They bought a company for more than the entirety worth of Jamaica.
Fuck, really? Whoa, I didn't know that. Okay.
$70 billion is more than many countries.
God, okay, but here's the thing.
Sorry, we don't. I don't have anything wild or funny to say about it. It's just like they bought a company for more than countries are worth.
Okay, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. But you know what isn't a bummer?
$69 billion.
AJ. So I want to talk to you about something. So
okay.
Every now and again, I think about what you and I make on Patreon and like the returns that we get on this podcast, and I think, okay, what can I spend that money on that isn't productive? I've been watching a lot of Poppy music videos, and I gotta say, I'm a changed man. AJ, my outfit clearly does not have enough glitter, doesn't have enough buckles, and it doesn't have enough layers, because fucking every music video Poppy is in, she's fucking killing it. Like, I saw her dress.
Stop. I cannot imagine the idea of you with glitter, Blake, because the idea of you being Mr. Flannel and tall boots, now being all glittery, as if you're some lumberjack fairy? Yes, that rips.
I'm a lumberjack. I'm like a fey lumberjack, basically.
Yes. Fucking A, dude, I want you in like a flannel and then some like crazy neon green, neon purple pants.
I would so fucking do that, and then do my nails. And you know what the best thing is? Like, anybody who likes eyelashes at home, you're gonna get a little bit jelly faced. For some reason, I have really long eyelashes, and I guess that's just like a really popular thing.
Because you're so beautiful and cool.
Well, thank you, BB. Thank you. But like my friend Lucy, a mutual friend of AJ and I's, she came up to me one time and she's like, "Are you wearing eyeliner?" I'm like, "No, these are all natural, baby." And she's like, and she literally got mad at me. It was just so I'd lace
you
that
eat your
shit
vitamins
up.
and your vegetables.
I'd lace that shit up with glitter, dude, and I'd just be fucking. So
do it. Hey, Blake, do it. Get some neon green nails painted by the time you come down and visit next weekend.
I think Poppy fashion is very expensive, though. So I don't know how much I can ball on a budget with that one. I can Poppy on a budget, but it's definitely a goal. So
I accidentally Googled Poopy instead of Poppy. My bad. So if I Google Poppy,
dude, like. Oh fuck! Like her outfit from what's it called? Is it X? I think it is. No, it's not X. It's the one where she's God. I honestly don't.
I forgot she was locked in a box at some awards show. That's very funny and cool of her.
See, I always thought hey guys, I know this is a video game podcast and all that stuff, but I'm just gonna sit here and talk about.
No,
Poppy
it's a Poppy fan cast now.
Okay. AJ and I talked about this. I think we talked about it on a Let's Play, or we talked about it on a previous episode. But I love experimental content, not stuff that is like, oh, this is experimental and you have to find your own meaning, tree of life bullshit. I hate stuff like that. I love
But you love stuff that's kind of bad on purpose.
No. Even that stuff, I'm like, okay, haha, Room's a bad movie. It's super great. I mean,
but The Room's not bad on purpose. That's different, and it.
Okay, you're right. But the idea of being experimental while still taking into account the coherency that the how coherent the end result is to an audience, I think that's the content I love, and that's all of Poppy's shit. And like, I only heard like maybe one Poppy song like forever ago, and I was just like, for some reason my brain was just like, no, I don't dig this. And then I listen to Girls in Bikinis. That shit rocks. I listen to fucking Scary Mask. That shit rocks. Low Life. I mean, that one's like, that's pretty standard. But like Bleach Blonde Baby, Voicemail, all of those songs are just so weird. And it has shaped me into a new human being. So I'm going to try and bring that weird energy into this podcast episode today. AJ, can I hit you with...
I'll be honest,
okay.
I didn't have Blake being a Poppy stan on my bingo card this year. Here's my question. Have you dedicated a TweetDeck column to Poppy yet? And
no,
if not, why not?
I don't use TweetDeck for anything other than business. Like
well,
Twitter.
You could use it for business and defending Poppy.
Honestly, AJ, okay, here's another can of worms. Ever since I realized that if I'm going to be a person in the public space, I'm not saying our bubble's huge, but we do have a circle of influence.
We are niche internet influencers.
I really needed to clean up my Twitter. So now that I realize something, now that I do all of my smut and shit posting on Instagram where my history is obscure, I just don't go on Twitter all that much anymore.
You're a coward.
I mean, I still follow like funny accounts on Twitter. I just don't like anything anymore because
there was a moment where Instagram did let you see your friends' likes, and like they had horrifying. A separate feed for just when your friends had likes. It was the pits. I learned so much about so many people in ways I did not ever intend.
You still get something like that. Like if you and a friend get recommended the same image, it'll let you know if a friend liked an image that was recommended to you. So like if you see smut that was recommended to you that I liked, don't tell me about it. Don't tell anybody about it, AJ. You're my friend.
I'm going to tell Twitter about it. You can run away to Instagram, but if I see an Instagram post that's like, Blake Ray, I liked this, I'm screenshotting it and posting it on Twitter, and I'm tagging you.
Okay. This one comes to us, we're a game design podcast. We can't all...
Yeah. No, I saw you made the jump without the segue. You just have to go for it now. Don't be tripping all over yourself.
Bro,
go for it. You ditched the segue and you did a sick jump. Don't fucking...
Dude, if they fucking...
cower out now.
If they've made it 129 episodes, they get what this podcast is about.
They know what we do here.
Yes. This one comes to us from... Hold on. This one comes to us on Twitter from Blue Bowser Stan account at Koopa Kirby. Rhythm game where you play as a newscaster and you have to read the teleprompter in the weird news reporter cadence. So one thing I haven't seen, imagine Dance Dance Revolution. I mean, actually, is that just... I guess I didn't think about this, but this is just karaoke. No, this is just karaoke, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just karaoke. Well, it's a little bit different because it's like karaoke, but what if instead of doing karaoke for a song, you were doing karaoke for the news or karaoke for the Anchorman movie? Mm-hmm. Yo, what if there was karaoke for movies? Hear me out.
What do you mean just reading the scripts? Oh yeah, that sounds exciting.
No. I mean, like, you get all of your friends together.
We have to read all of the rejected.
Shut up.
Wait, actually, no, AJ, you're into something. It's all of the rejected movies. It's all the rejected scripts that have to be read.
No, it's not. Okay. What I'm proposing is, you know how when we went and saw Rocky Horror Picture Show, we had a great time. We danced. Yes. We slow danced in the aisles. I made out with a stranger.
You and me slow danced in the aisles, and you got lipstick all over my jacket, and that is still I still have lipstick on my jacket. It's the funniest thing.
You can't quit me. So there was a moment where not even a moment, the whole time you're watching Rocky Horror Picture Show, what's happening on the stage right in front of the giant screen of the movie, Blake?
People are making out.
No, well, I was doing that, but no, closer to the screen. Closer to the screen, there's actors that are reenacting the entire movie, saying the lines with the people.
Are you talking about the people that like hoist up the giant chrome penis? And
yes,
just, like,
I'm talking about the showrunners. I'm talking about the people that are there for the Rocky Horror Picture Show, performing the Rocky Horror Picture Show as you are watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
I want to do that for everything. I want to be able to be like, hey, come on over, friends. Me and my other friends are going to be doing a live performance of The Labyrinth while we have The Labyrinth on in the background. We're going to mute The Labyrinth so that we can say all the lines. And if we ever get tripped up and we're not sure what the lines are, we'll just turn our head to the screen and read the lines.
Could you do... Okay, is there a way we can gamify this? Is there a mechanic to where people can vote on who's doing better? Or there's like, hey... Actually, you know, it'd be kind of fun. Let me just
No,
add
I think it's like a karaoke thing. I don't want it to be scored. I want a new form of art. I want a new way for us to engage with people.
Okay, let me add this to you then. So what if you do, so let's use Labyrinth as an example. Like, what's the big song from Labyrinth? It's
jump, magic, jump, magic, jump.
I know so little about that movie other than that they had a guy,
baby, make it
like,
free.
They had a guy like fake his hand in instead of David Bowie's to do the orb thing. That's like the only other thing I know about that movie.
Don't fucking pretend you don't know what the orb thing is called. You know.
I don't know what it is.
You don't.
Is it or it's not Orbeez? No, that's the thing you put in a pool and then it explodes.
Okay.
Right?
No, keep going. I want to see how long it takes you to remember the name of the contact ball juggling.
Fuck, Freddie Wong did a whole video on this.
Freddie Wong did do a very funny video about it. Come on.
It's like it feels like something Shazam would scream, like Zabber, or like, you know, right? It feels like that, doesn't it?
No, you're right. It's actually my power word. If I say it, I become
Fuigi balls. Fuigi balls.
Oh, you were so close. It's on the tip of your tongue. Fuigi balls.
Fuigi balls.
Fushigi.
Fuego balls. Yes. Okay.
No, Fushigi. You dumb. Anyway.
See, I got it. So
that's a good fact that you have about them replacing David Bowie's arms with another man who did know how to do Fushigi.
Okay, two things, because this brings a very fun idea to me. So, one, the random element and the wrinkle in this is that before every scene, a random player is told what to is given an assigned role. So you don't know. It's like, AJ, you're a big fan of the magic jump sequence, but you don't know if you're going to get selected. But at the top of the screen, you see at the top of the scene, at the top in the screen, it says AJ. It says Blake and Brooke do this scene. Blake is going to play the Fushigi master, and Brooke is going to play the small
Jareth
little child.
the Goblin King, please.
I know him as David Bowie.
It is Jareth the Goblin King, and I will demand that you put some respect on his name.
AJ, are you ready to lose all of our fan base? Because I have something I'm going to drop on you.
What?
I don't like Labyrinth all that much. I watched it and I'm like,
fuck the audience. You lost me as a co-host.
It falls into that same fucking like area of movies where everybody's like, okay, hold on. And let me rephrase this because these aren't comparable.
It's one of the best movies ever made, first of all. Second of all,
people say
David
the same
Bowie's
thing about Donnie Darko, but it's also like, that's a shitty movie.
Darko. Okay.
The movie's a shitty movie and nobody says it. I was on a date once and I said, hey, this movie sucks. And they walked out of the Best Buy we were in. I never saw them again, AJ. That's how serious people...
Wait, about which movie? Donnie Darko?
Donnie Darko, yes.
I've never seen Donnie Darko, but here's what I will assume about Donnie Darko is that it won't make me smile.
That's the only good thing about it.
It probably doesn't make me smile like The Labyrinth does.
No, because
The Labyrinth has so many
movie
smiles per minute. There's so many good times where you're like, yeah, bud. The little orange guys that do their funny little dance and take their heads off. Yeah, bud.
I don't even remember that.
The fun little old man that's got the flamingo on his back and he says, please leave your contributions in the little box. Yeah, bud. The
David Bowie's design was
caterpillar?
Like was so cool. That's the only thing I know about it. But either way, we're getting off topic. So what I'm suggesting here is you're playing magical chairs every scene. So it's like you don't know. Yes. So you be like, okay,
and then you root who did the best in their scene every time. But I don't get to play Jareth the Goblin King every single time. Sometimes I gotta play Hobble.
AJ, hold on. We're on to something here. What if this is like
Hoggle? Sorry,
no, this
is
what's it called when an actor goes in and does a script read to see if they can get the role? Like, I think it's just your
an audition.
An audition. This is what this is. So remember, when we played Jackbox with our group, TKO is like you can see how long of a streak somebody has with like the best T-shirt. What if this is something like auditions? So it's like, hey, you and I are going up, and the audience, whoever's on the couch, gets to vote who stays in for the next round.
So you have So in the first couple scenes, everybody goes up and like it's swapping cast wildly. Like every time somebody's new on screen, it's changing, or every time somebody reappears on screen for the first 20 minutes, it's changing who's supposed to be playing them. And then there will be a small intermission 20 minutes into the movie where they say, all right, everybody, we're going to have everybody vote for who gets what roles for the rest of the watch time. So if I didn't fucking kill it as Hoggle in the first 20 minutes, I don't get to play Hoggle for the rest of the movie.
I think it's got to be, I think the goal is to do the entire movie like this as musical chairs.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of it locking, because you proposed the idea of the audition, and I love the idea that for the first 20 minutes, you are auditioning for every role to your watch party, and then you are assigned who, like, everybody gets to say, I think that you did a great job as this character, so you're going to do them for the rest of the time.
Oh, so it's kind of like when you play Until Dawn or like Man from Medan with a bunch of friends, and then you just like, hey, you're going to play this character, and anytime they come up, you get to make their decisions or do their quick time.
Yes, but that is done, that decision of who gets to play what is done after I have forced you to read one line for every character first. So that I can really get a little sampling of what Blake is like as every character from Donnie Darko before I decide who I want Blake to be.
Hello, I'm a rabbit. Hello, here's a plastic bag that I'm filming. Actually, no, that's what's that? American Beauty. I think they both have dumb teens who are like angsty about the world and just. Okay, this is a bit, but yes, if you like Donnie Darko, like you're more than welcome to like Donnie Darko. I hate it. But if it's meaningful,
but it's fine.
To you,
Blake has bad opinions about movies as based on his Labyrinth opinion.
Bam! That's why I'm not a successful filmmaker. I haven't made it. You heard it here. I'm officially that one podcast guy that just shits on movies. No, please God, I don't want to be assigned that.
Motherfucker, that's every podcaster. That's what you're doing now.
Yeah, but then here I am. Actually, I didn't throw any compliment. Man, I did just take 2 movies and be like, these are shitty movies, huh?
Damn, bud, you really are just a guy with a podcast. Would you like a new video game idea?
Hello, dear listener. It's me, your favorite white cis male with a beard that is not kempt. I hate movies.
So this submission comes from AlleyCat on Twitter, at Millennium Hoo-Ha, a racing game where subterfuge is more important than the actual race. Cut other cars' brakes, pay off other racers to lose, and do whatever it takes to win. This is so good.
Cool. So it's like the game, do you actually even, like, my question is this just a game that takes place like sandbox style before the race, or is it, and the race just you see the results of it, or is it like the sandbox where you cut all the lines, break the deals, do all of like the puzzly sandboxy elements, and then you get to experience the race, which might be more interesting because you can see the actual results of the havoc you've wrought, but
you need to be able to see and feel the havoc caused by other people. But I want there to be the 3 phases I'm imagining for the game. Phase 1, you've arrived at the car race place, the racetrack. That's the word I was digging for. You are at the racetrack and you get to run around Hitman style. And so are all of your competitors. And you're running around and you're interacting with the world. You're seeing where other people have stationed their vehicles. And you can hack, cut, mess with all sorts of things. The second phase is the checkover phase. You get 4 minutes to look over your vehicle. No, you get 1.5 minutes to look over your vehicle and double check if anything has been done to it so that you can try to repair it. Then you go into the race.
Can I combine this with another submission? Because I feel like we can add an extra bit of stank.
Yes, you can combine it. That's one of my favorite things to do on this show.
So this one comes to us on Twitter from Redis at Redis Astronaut. Madden sports game, but you keep getting unskippable cutscenes about the athletes' personal lives on and off the field. And the cutscenes start to give you dialogue options. The goal is to win the big game, and how you interact with the athletes' personal lives affects the team. So imagine a sandbox-style game like you were saying.
Did we just make Telltale Speed Racer?
No, shut up. No, that was... No, that was mean. I don't know why I said shut up. I'm just... That was mean of me. No, what I'm getting at is like, okay, you have this sandbox style game where you have to go manage your relationships with not only the other racers and their teams, but your own team. Maybe if you don't have a good enough relationship with your team, they start to fuck you up. What if your pit crew doesn't have your back during these races? And every time...
or more importantly, somebody has paid off your crew to be bad in the pit.
And then there's like this mystery element. Maybe that's the overarching narrative, is like finding out like maybe the first race... Whoa, hold on a second. We're on to something here. So what if...
Okay, what we need to decide really quick. Are we imagining this as a single-player experience or a multiplayer experience? Because I love the idea of trying to sabotage other people's cars.
No, I think this is a single-player experience because then we can have more fun in, like, actually designing things. Just, like, assuming people are going to... I don't know if I don't know if that's fun, because also the other submission of Rita's talked about cutscenes, and cutscenes implies that you're dealing with NPCs and like a narrative there. So what if like every time you do some major thing in the sandbox, it triggers some sort of unskippable cutscene that then contributes to like your relationships, or it's like it contributes to the I'm just trying to think of like how can we combine those two things? Because I don't think you can do that in a multiplayer sense.
I think we can have incredibly long, unskippable cutscenes in a multiplayer matchmaking game. For two reasons. One, it's very funny. Two, it's already been done in an MMO that people play regularly, actually. Final Fantasy XIV has a bit, I forget the name of it, where at the end of one of the major story arcs, you can do like a big moment where like you get like 64 people all running one mission together. There are multiple very long cutscenes that are not skippable that you must watch when you run this event.
Fuck. Okay.
So what if this is a game where you are 4 people released in a little car racetrack? There are points where the game will stop and it'll be like, all right, based on all of these things that happen, you get to see this cutscene.
Can I?
I'm imagining something akin to. Do you remember Kirby's Air Ride?
Oh, of course. It was a great game.
Kirby's Air Ride was a great game because the gimmick was that you were just driving around in this little space. You were picking up upgrades and different vehicles so that you could go into the mini games and do better in the mini games. That would happen on a timer. There were also public events that were happening in the overworld that you were constantly driving around in. Kirby's Air Ride is one of the coolest games ever, and it's a real shame that nothing has like come out to try to emulate that vibe.
Because I think racing games aren't like, people just aren't hot about them as they used to be. Like during like the Need for Speed, like PS2, early Xbox days. Like I just don't think people like them. But then again, like
I think there is an audience for them, but I think that they've continued to steer more into the simulator style of game rather than like just a fun kart game.
Yeah, we don't have Pure anymore. Like that was like the racing game of my youth, because it had like Wolfmother as part of the soundtrack.
Oh,
and I'm like, and you would just like, I remember, see that game was great because you would go off of, they tried playing it realistic and being like, yeah, this is like hyper realistic, but then you would go off of you would jump off of a fucking mountain and you would just like be riding the air doing like trick after trick after trick, and then you would have fallen like 1,000 feet, which would have killed you. But it's like, nah, man, you land right as like the fucking drum solo from White Unicorn ends, and it's like, oh god, oh man, I love that shit.
So what if this is a game that you are given to this open area, you can run around, you can bribe people, you can earn money, you can upgrade your car, and every now and again at like 20-minute intervals or something like that, another scene from the movie that we have created happens, dependent on who has been paid off, have people given enough money to the pit crew to trigger them to do this movement in the game.
Can I pitch you on something that makes the unskippable cutscenes more of like a strategy thing, but also still like a pain in the ass? So every time you make some sort of action where you are bribing somebody, you are going in and personally cutting somebody's brake lines or cables or stuff, that triggers a cutscene. You are opted to stay and watch that entire cutscene. Because if you don't, you are basically cutting somebody off. So it's like, to maintain your relationships, you need to hear what they have to say, or talk to them, or be there for them, or carry a conversation on. The stank of it, though, my friend, is that even though this conversation is happening and this cutscene is happening, the world is still moving in real time around you. So if you are locked into this cutscene, somebody could be in your fucking pit garage cutting your brake lines, and you wouldn't even know because you're stuck in this cutscene. So you have to weigh this thing of like, okay, how long can I stay in this cutscene without or it's like, I can't stay in this cutscene because I know somebody's on their way to fuck my shit up right now.
And if you leave the cutscene, then whatever is happening in the moment, will happen without the agency of your character.
Yes.
If you are in the middle of an argument with somebody and you skip the rest of it, that character will stay up mad at you for the rest of the game.
Yes.
If you are in the middle of, if the cutscene is somebody being robbed and your character is not there, then you lose a bunch of money.
Ooh, God, this is fun. This is fun. Also, just the title of This Ain't My Scene, just seared into my brain for a second, and it's just like the idea.
We'll find a way to carve that up somehow.
Yeah, well, just do the standard, like a need for conversation, as all humans do.
Great, you nailed it. Yeah, that's a game name.
Let me give you a game submission. How about that?
Okay. Man, I'm thinking about Kirby Air Ride again now, man.
Okay, I mean, like, tell the audience, like, what's your favorite Kirby Air Ride story while I'm looking for submissions?
It was just like, it was the kind of game that, like, when new things were happening on the map, it was so exciting to be like, hey, a little text blurb on the bottom is saying something about a volcano erupting. What's up with that? And so you drive over to where the volcano is, and sure enough, it's erupting. But now, because it's erupted, you could potentially fly down into the volcano because it's erupted and the lava isn't there anymore. And there's all sorts of little bonuses and goodies down there.
Oh, okay.
Like, there was so many cool world events that happened. Have you not played Kirby Air Ride?
No, but I mean, like, I remember going over to a friend's house and, like, playing it, but I didn't play it enough to get into, like, seeing the active world like that. That's wicked cool. I don't know why that... I mean, I don't feel like that game.
It was a party game with an like an overworld that was constantly upgrading and or changing.
That's cute.
And you would like let's say you found a vehicle that's really good at flying. Then maybe if you go over to the parking garage and you jump off the top, you might be able to fly into like one of the upper windows of the skyscraper, and then you could go in there and see what's in there to pick up and gather around.
God, what
and
happened
all
to
of the
Kirby
little
games?
things that you picked up would be upgrades for your vehicle. That way, when the timer hit and it said, "Hey, we're going on to another challenge," you would be upgraded based on all of your pickups.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Okay, that's cute. That's awesome. I love that, and I want in on that. I didn't have a GameCube, so I couldn't play that stuff. That's why I had to go over to a friend's house. But I have a game submission for you if you want to hear it, or you still want to talk about Kirby Air Ride.
No, it's fine. We don't have to talk about Kirby's Air Ride, the greatest Kirby thing ever, and maybe one of the best games on the GameCube. Period.
No, Nightmare in Dreamland is an amazing game. What are you talking about? This one comes to us from Dr. Peener, at Dr_Peener, a game where you examine old photos, footage, paintings, and hieroglyphics to find time travelers. So, here's my idea for this. One of the big things that people are hypothesizing about our current generation and how future generations will look at it, or they think of like, okay, information in the future is going to become currency, and there are going to be jobs that there are going to be jobs that their sole focus is going through all of the information we as a society have generated now. Facebook posts, photos, videos that we've made. What if we are playing as this worker in the future doing this desk job, having to look through memes of like I has cheeseburger era, trying to find time travelers in Newgrounds, or trying to find time travelers in that crazy hellish era that was like the Neopets. Like,
so you're trying to look back on Neopets and try to find the earliest instance of the case 69 as a sex joke, and you're just trying to figure out like,
no.
When was this done? Is this a time traveler?
I'm wondering. No. I'm wondering if we can try and do this game. So it's like the basic premise is like you're some guy that is trying to find some some time traveler who went back to the eye has cheeseburger.
Yeah, you're trying to find evidence of a time traveler. Or evidence of time travelers would be things like what?
I'm thinking, so going off the submission, they said photos and videographs and hieroglyphics. What if you have to like see old like meme pictures and like there's something different about them? Then you have to track this trail of this time traveler through all of the memes that they like. You and I mutually knew somebody that their whole thing was that they desperately wanted to become a meme for whatever reason. They just wanted their face to be a meme. What if a person like that knew what were all the memes that were going to take off and decided to travel back in time so they could be the person to do all of the memes? This is just like what's that? It's that one movie that you really liked, the one where the guy goes into an alternate world where the Beatles didn't exist, and he's the one.
Yesterday. Okay.
Yeah. So what if it was Yesterday, but somebody wanting to be like the meme lord of the internet? Like they're the
so I've been stricken by a bus. I wake up. I say I'm gonna become Alex from Target.
Alex from Target?
You don't remember the Alex from Target kid that was just some dude that was at Target, and so he got a free ride from college?
Wait, was this the kid that did like the dress up, like he dressed in cowboy boots and like did the cool spin and then like got a free ride from college? Like,
no, you're thinking of the fun little yodeling boy in Walmart.
Yodeling boy.
No,
there's just lots of like
the
weird
yodeling boy
kids.
also got some pretty crazy collabs, which good for yodeling kid from Walmart. No, Alex from Target was maybe the blueprint. He was just some dude that worked at Target that went trending because I guess he was cute enough. And then he got to go to Ellen and got a free ride for college.
Man, I wish I was hot enough to get a free ride from college. This is fucked up.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, man.
That's what you get for never working at Target. I'm sure that if you worked at Target, you would have gotten a free ride to college.
If I worked at Target dressed in my poppy fashion, I would, one of two things. One, scare some boomers. Two, get a free ride to college by Ellen
Win-win,
DeGeneres.
baby. Win-win.
Win-win. Yeah, that's all that's my life goals, man. Which I think is also kind of what
I still don't know what the
for.
goal of the game is. Am I trying to be the meme or am I trying to catch the memer?
I think you're trying to catch the meme, and it's just...
Okay, so when you cut me off and I said trying to find the first instance of 69 being used in Neopets, you thought it was a bad idea.
No,
but that would be the game, right?
No, because I think you're trying to see I guess we're trying to figure out what our narrative is first, because it's like, okay, you work for this agency that's all about seeing discrepancies in time travel, but you got assigned, like, the major people at this company are the people that like went back and like tried to like collect $1,000 and hide it away so it would gain so much interest. Like, that's what your company is. That's what their job is trying to stop time travel people from abusing time travel.
We're trying to stop time travelers from going back in time and making all the good sports bets.
Yes, but you are the person working the table for like the shitty time travel jobs. So like you're going through old shit posts trying to find out where this guy ended up, and you can only find his trail by going through old message boards. That's what this is. This is like a file management sim where it's like, you know, like in the levels of Doki Doki where you actually have to go into the code and like type things in, drag and drop things. What if it's a game like that where it's like you're going through this old like person's laptop, or you're going through their old data history, or you got to go through some old like time capsule message boards where it's like, I think there's actually a website that does that. I think I don't know if it's called time capsule, but all they do is they take snapshots of message boards before they are wiped, and I think it's called the Go Back Machine.
That's cool. The Wayback Machine. The
Wayback Machine, yes. And I'm wondering if like this is like kind of what this is like you're the company that has all of this data. And I'm just scrolling
through photos, and if I see somebody laying on the ground in a weird spot, I gotta be like, that's planking. I know that.
Yeah, and then maybe you have to
So it's just a meme trivia game.
No, I'm trying to do this system where it's like you know this person's went back in time to try and be the start of every meme or whatever.
And what do I do? I'm just deleting all of his shit. I see the photo of him laying on the ground and I say, that's planking, dork. And so I flag that one, click on his profile, and I'm like, what else you been up to, huh?
Oh,
you got a has cheeseburger meme in here? And I keep scrolling through his stuff and I'm like, nothing else looks suspect here. Oh, that's what it is. You're just running around erasing people's dumb jokes from the history books. You're a corrections agency. Yeah, I don't know how much deeper it gets other than meme recognition.
What? Okay, so there's this one game I just saw. It's called Observation Duty. Have you ever heard of that game? I think Markiplier might have played it. Basically, what it is you are operating the cameras of this house, and you can swap between all of the different rooms, but there are anomalies that happen in each one of these rooms that you need to then report. So it's like, hey, this chair moved to the other side of the room. This painting is different. This bottle is missing. These shoes are now like on the ceiling or something. Or like, hey, there's a guy standing outside the window. Then you just go to your tabs and then what are you reporting? It's like moved object in the bedroom. But if enough anomalies happen, you basically get taken over. You lose. So it's like, could you do this sort of anomaly thing where it's like, okay, you need to stop every time that this kid went back in time and is making all of these shit posts, and you need to make sure all of them get deleted in enough time before he goes viral. And if he goes viral, then it changes the space-time continuum of your job forever. And I'm just trying to think, is there something there, or is this kind of just like, it's fun, but it doesn't go deep enough?
I think it just doesn't go deep enough. I just don't know where it evolves. So I think I'm good to move on.
Give me another game then.
This one's a throwback to a couple months ago because I was digging through all the things that I have bookmarked that I had never got around to in case there were any gems in it. Let me hit you with this one. Chris at Detective Slowpoke suggests Judge Dredd, but with taxes. Accountant, auditor, executioner.
So what do you know about Dredd? Like, are you familiar with his comic books?
I'm familiar that he has a very big chin. I know that he eventually starts killing people that are the embodiments of death. I know that there's an old movie where they cast Sylvester Stallone as Dredd, and it's really cool. And then like 5 minutes into the movie, he takes the helmet off, and he's just Stallone for the rest of the movie, and that's the biggest disappointment. And I know that there's a new one that's essentially just slow-mo camera American The Raid. And I haven't seen it, though.
Dude, I'm going to blow your mind. Wait, you haven't seen the new Dredd movie?
No. Well, you say new, but it came out in like 2013, bud.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a bummer that it did. Dude, that movie's so fucking good. When I come up to see you this weekend, guess what? We're watching Dredd. Because
I think I have 3 nephews that are all younger than Dredd. 2013.
Fuck, I do have not siblings. I do also have nephews that are younger. What's it called? Cersei from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
She plays like this fucking slow-mo like drug addict mob boss. Like, she's awesome in this movie. Yeah, she's so fucking cool. She has like her hair all short and she's tatted up and she's badass. She's so cool.
So what if Judge Dredd was really good at math, though?
Okay, so tax season is coming up, but it's treated like, is this just like the moment July happens? Is it just auditors hunt you down until you pay your taxes and you are just playing oh man.
I think
are you playing Dredd, going around and hunting down? I mean, it would be kind of funny.
You play as somebody trying to fill their taxes out, and you have such a small amount of time before the Dredd accountants get to you, and they're going to kick your butt.
Would it be funnier to play this game as Judge Dredd or Accountant Dredd, and all of the people that are doing tax evasion is like, but they treat it as like hardcore crime? Like tax evasion's what's the term? A white collar crime. It's where it's like only rich people do it.
What if? Hold on. Wait a minute. I got it.
You're hunting down NFT makers. I'm totally on board with this.
What if Doom Guy helped you with your taxes?
what if Doom Guy? So how would Doom Guy, the embodiment of rage and purity against demons, what would he do for you?
But instead of him running around in hell and front kicking a zombie, somebody walks in and they're like some like small normal person. They're like, could you help me? And Judge, like, you know how there was that scene in Doom 2016, part 2, the sequel to Doom 2016, where he sees a detective. He sees a little like professor guy, and he kind of walks over to him and grabs the little security key card around his neck and just drags him over
while
to
he's
the
in
key
a roller
card
chair.
button.
Yeah, it's so fucking funny.
I want that vibe, but for a man that is helping people with their taxes. Just the angry and disappointed and frustrated vibe of being like, at any moment he could go ape shit and throw everything in this room out the window. But he is just going to sit over your shoulder and be like, you forgot to carry the 2.
How is that a game? How is that a game? Other
it's a
than
lot of QuickTime events, and you have to. It's
so are you basically trying to fill out your taxes? But if you fail it wrong, Doom Guy rips your spine out.
I've decided actually you're playing as Doom Guy, and you run a little tax helper company, and you have 8 people that have come in to help with their taxes, and at different times you will have to sprint over to their little zone where they're filling out their paperwork and like reach over their shoulder and slam your hand on the desk, and you just kind of like point them at what they need to fill out. You are being a very helpful gentleman helping them fill out their taxes, but it's with all of the weight and terrifying power of the Doom Guy slamming his finger at things, pointing people in the right direction. It's a lot of QuickTime events. It's a little bit Diner Dash, but first person and very angry.
I don't know if I'm feeling it. I'll be honest with you, because I'm like, okay, it's just angry guy slam table, and he yells taxes. But I'm like, I think
we've all seen Wolf of Wall Street. That's a good point. It's been done.
Let's go back to basics on this one. So they wanted to do. So for those that don't know, Judge Dredd is a comic book series that's been going on for something, I think, like 40 years now, and it's a continuous story where this is a overpopulated dystopian world where the whole world basically got nuked, and they've all all of humanity has been corralled into these things called megacities. And rather than having a full justice system where there's like your peace officers and then your courtrooms, there's this, they're like, fuck that, we're just gonna put all of that into one guy with a gun that has explosive rounds in it, and he's gonna come up, he's gonna assess, are you breaking the law right now? Okay, that's about 30 years in jail, come with me. And then he just throws you in jail. It's sort of like, oh, you murdered somebody. Well, guess I gotta kill you now. So how can we take that same level of like fucking extra and apply it to people that are avoiding taxes or tax evasion? I think that's the area we should be focusing on.
So you do want to do a game where we just hunt down petty crime? Well, I don't actually know if tax evasion is a petty crime. It feels like
it's a federal offense. It's a federal offense because your taxes are that's federal money. So it is. I'm pretty sure it's a federal crime.
I don't know how taxes work really. I just know that Uncle Sam comes around and he says,
AJ, do you pay taxes?
Yeah, I do.
You want to put that?
Well, that's the thing is I definitely pay my taxes, and I just don't know that Uncle Sam's giving me mine back at the end.
No, he's not. It's most of our money goes to frivolous bullshit. I don't want to get into that because but there are people in the office. Okay, I'm on it now. There are people in office eating off of plates that are $30,000. I'm like, you could feed somebody with that. Go fuck yourself. All right, so I'm mad now.
I can get you off of it if you would like. I have another submission.
All right. I'm sorry. We failed you. We tried, but give us another.
I'm sorry. We don't know enough about Judge Dredd or taxes. This comes from No Romo at TJ Garcia 1. Saw, but it's Nickelodeon Double Dare.
Saw, but it's ooh. Are kids getting killed in this, AJ? Is that what's
I think that
is the slime
SpongeBob just comes on the microphone and he says, "I want to see how much slime you're willing to eat."
It's just wait, hold on. This is on brand because SpongeBob does ride a bike because he can't drive. So he just rolls up in that little tricycle that the Saw dude does, the little puppet.
And he says, "Would you like to play a game?"
That's a horrible SpongeBob. Wow.
I don't do impersonations. Sorry, impersonations are the lamest form of comedy. Anyway, so SpongeBob comes in and he asks you whether or not you want to play a game, and then he makes you eat like 3 gallons worth of Nickelodeon gack.
Okay, but we gotta like take the Saw method of like there is a way you can win. So
you are locked up. The only way you can get out is if you eat enough gack to get to the key, and then you can unlock your cuffs and leave.
Wait, it'd be so fucking like horrific. So this is a game. The story is that you were part of the audience that was watching like Dare, back in the 90s. And like you decided to stay behind or whatever. You committed the sin of like, oh, I want to get on the Dare set. You and your group of friends get on the Dare set, and it just turns out like SpongeBob comes to life and he's like, all right, for breaking the law and staying on the Dare set, you're going to play my own version of it now. So it's just like you're fighting for your life to get out of this Nickelodeon warehouse.
I've never seen Double Dare, and so I decided to go ahead and look it up. Everything I know about Double Dare has been exclusively through osmosis. So I went ahead and looked up Nickelodeon Double Dare. Is it just the big nose? Was that kind of the only bit that they had, was the big nose?
I will be honest with you, I was not a Nickelodeon kid, so
there's
I know
a big
nothing
nose
about...
that's spewing Nickelodeon slime down out of it, and it's just that like 8 times. There's so many photos of this one big nose.
It's just if I remember correctly, it's just like 2 sides constantly daring each other to do shit, and if they didn't do it, they got like slimed. But then you can also like Double Dare.
No, I think it's a game show, because I think this lady's throwing an egg into a bucket on another guy's head in this photo that I found.
Yeah, because that's you're given challenges, and you can. But then I think where the name actually, I don't know why this is coming back to me.
Why is it called Double Dare?
Because you can, if you were dared to do an activity, you can then double dare your opponent to do the activity instead, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So imagine Saw. So like you and I. We snuck into the lot of Nickelodeon. We stayed behind, and now SpongeBob has us by the throats. And it's now like a fight for survival, where it's like, okay, I'm clearly want to get out of this, so that means anytime I'm gonna get something that could like maim me, I'm gonna double dare it to you. But if you take it and you succeed, I think then I get double the punishment or whatever. So instead of losing one arm, I lose both of my arms. So it's just like, how long can you go?
I don't want anyone to get hurt. It's Nickelodeon. It's a safe space. Blake, I've sent you a photo of a Nickelodeon Double Dare.
Yeah, but it's Saw,
could you tell me what is happening in this image? Well, I think the purpose of Saw is so that it's all self-inflicted misery, which I think might still be what Nickelodeon's Double Dare is. I have a photo that I sent to you.
No, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's a dude in a high chair with a baby bonnet on. There's, I think, his daughter behind him hyping him up. I think.
You're right. He is a man it is a full-grown man in a baby bonnet in a high chair. Would you also like to point out?
This guy looks like your dad.
Hey, there is something that's very upsetting about this photo about the man in the high chair dressed like a baby, and I want you to pick out what it is, and I'll let you know when you've hit it.
I think it's like he's holding a.
Nope, it's not what he's holding.
Okay, I do want to explain to people he's holding a bowl of what looks to be pudding, like white pudding. He's wearing elbow pads and knee pads.
Yep, there it is. That's exactly what I'm so concerned about. This man is strapped into a high chair, full-grown man, baby bonnet, has a bowl of something, and he is padded up. He's got knee pads and elbow pads and a helmet and safety goggles. I don't know what he's going to get blasted with, but I am so nervous for this man.
Oh, fuck, he's
why is he so safe in this high chair?
He's got to take yeah, he's also wearing a helmet underneath that bonnet, isn't he?
Yes.
What is
he's
happening?
So safe.
That's so weird.
What are they going to do to him?
Is that just, do you think that's just part of the outfit for the show? Like, man, I love talking about shit you and I...
No, because the other woman in this photo is a contestant as well, and she's not protected at all. She's just going to watch this man
What is going to happen to him? That's terrifying. Does he have to fucking go? Does he have to do, like, as soon as he finishes it, he has to, like, go do an obstacle course or some shit? Oh, man.
What could he possibly be protecting himself from? And more concerningly, who designed this? Because what we have here is we have some sort of game that has been designed wherein somebody has to dress up like a baby, but will be harmed enough that they need to be wearing elbow pads, knee pads, and a full helmet.
So I mean, bro, like, let's Saw. Like, that's the submission is like Saw is you die. You do the activity or you die in a very creative, bad way. This guy.
Think that you think they just have the jackass slappy hand right off frame of this photo?
Or, oh man, I wonder if they would do a thing where it's, because this is like a really big high chair. I wonder if they're just like, underneath him is some sort of lever that's going to just basically throw him off of the chair. Because that feels like something, right?
Maybe he's just going to be thrown.
He's just going to be thrown into a slime pit off of this chair. Oh my God. Okay. So we're coming up on the 50-minute mark. You and I, we need to pick a nug. I think it's our. Hey,
apparently that's Pete Wentz.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Pete Wentz is?
No, I'm not a Nickelodeon kid. I don't know.
That's fine. Moving on.
I was a Samurai Jack kid, which was on Boomerang /
I don't think that's Pete Wentz, but the photo is labeled sneak peek of Pete Wentz competing on Nickelodeon's Double Dare. I don't think that's Pete Wentz.
Sneak peek, like, find out if he survives next Tuesday at 11. Come watch Double Dare.
Blake, we need to pick a nug.
Yeah. All right. I mean, like, I like our Double Dare game, but there isn't like much stuff.
There's no teeth to it. Really, There's no game here. It was really just you and I being concerned about what the fuck is going on in Double Dare.
So I think it's our racing game. And
I also think it's our racing game wherein you get to hunt down and sabotage your friend's stuff. You can watch cutscenes so that you don't get bad things to happen to you, or you can skip them and bad things do happen to you. And there's constant little in-world activities like volcanoes erupting and fish flying through the air.
Okay, so this brings up a good point. So it's like, if this is like kind of a sandboxy game where you can find things in the environment to then further your goals, I think that's where our modifiers can come in. For those that don't know, on our Patreon for $2 a month, you can submit modifiers on our Discord. This week's modifier is
Blake,
weapons.
If I may.
Yes, what's up?
Before we can really lock down our weapons, I think it's important for us to figure out what this game looks like.
I was picturing it just looked like Hitman, like a photoreal, like
photorealistic game. Okay, yeah, so it's a little bit. So it's like I was imagining something similar to Mafia, because whenever I think of a race thing, I think of the Mafia 2 or Mafia 3 race scene.
Oh, that's a cool. Okay,
where your car is sabotaged before the race, making a very difficult race that you have to do.
Okay, so it's like it's photoreal, but still kind of like proportions are a little bit video game looking.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig that. Yes, I dig that. And I think it's also good that we keep photoreal, because then we're going to be able to get all of those guys, then we're going to be able to get all those people who still play like realistic driving sims. Still get them in.
Yeah, we can get those Gran Turismo fans into our zone.
Thank you. I was trying to think of the name, but I just couldn't. It just was not coming to me. So are you okay? So it's a photoreal game. Let's find some weapons. So
this comes from Gazer. Every weapon is a reference to movies only a film major cares about. This is so good.
Are they all driving movies, or is it just movies in general? Like,
I think it's movies in general, right? Like, there's going to be one air quotes weapon that's just a bar of soap, and people are going to be like, oh, whoa, like Fight Club, and that's just for us film majors.
Oh, so it's not like the real obvious ones, like the katana from Kill Bill.
No, I think I think it's so much better if it's references that only fucking uppity film majors like you and me would get. Like, you're right, there needs to be a Kill Bill reference. It's not the two options for the Kill Bill reference is either the yellow jumpsuit or the ball and chain that is used in Kill Bill 2.
Oh, that's right, because the lady kicks it, if I remember correctly. Like
the cool soccer ball thing that is locked to her feet, like a skippo.
Another one's vinyl records because of Shaun of the Dead, because they throw vinyl records at the zombies.
You know what? Here's the thing. I worry that that's not movie themed enough. Might I propose to you Cornetto ice cream?
Oh, okay. So we're getting to more like theoretical. Okay.
Yes, I want it to be like vague references that are all movie references, but only in a way that like only a like fucking film major would be like, oh, it's like this.
Okay, I'll give you one. It's a giant cannon, but regardless of where you shoot it, it always ends up into somebody's eye. Is that one a little bit too vague for you?
Or is that Wanted?
No.
Is that Clockwork Orange?
No, it's George Méliès's Trip to the Moon from 1912. Because those that don't know, the whole plot of that is that it's the first sci-fi movie ever made, where basically people wanted to go to space, so they just built a giant gun and put people in a big bullet, and then they literally shot it into the moon's eye, and it was just some guy with like a prosthetic, like really bad prosthetic face with a bullet in his eye, and it's just so stupid.
This rules. Hardcore. It's just shitty references like this, and like we're gonna use the term weapon, but like really they're just like puzzle pieces that you can use around the world to like activate different scenes.
Okay, this one also, because I think, we got to come up with something. I think that would be really funny. This one comes to us from Totodile. A swordfish. Hear me out on this one. I think it would be so much fun to have one weapon that is consistent every level, but its use can be so different every time during every level. So it's like the first level happens, there's a swordfish.
I'm imagining it as just one big open level. I don't think there are multiple levels in this thing. I think it's just like one really big world.
Dude,
and
like
you can take this swordfish to different scenes and different moments.
Like you tour. Like if you're part of a racing circuit, you're touring. Like there are different racetracks around the country. So like let's say this all takes place in Europe, where racing is a huge thing over there, because they have like what is the one cup, the Italian one?
The Spaghetti Cup.
This is that problematic? Should you have not said that? I don't know.
It certainly wasn't nice to Italians, but I also don't know if like we're at a point where I can get in trouble for making fun of Italians.
My good sir, this is the internet. Hold on, I need to find out, because the only thing that's coming to my mind is like Stanley Cup.
It's the Piston Cup.
The Piston Cup. There we go. Thank you.
Is it the Piston Cup? Hold on. I might be thinking. I think it's called the Piston Cup because I'm thinking of Cars 2.
Italian racing event. It is.
The Piston Cup is in Cars 1. I'm sorry.
The Grand Prix. There we go. God, Jesus.
It doesn't have cup in it at all.
So you're doing the Grand Prix, and that takes place at different locations, like throughout the country or through the continent. So that's why I think each level, to do that cycles, you have this new sandbox.
30-minute chunk.
It's each 30-minute chunk is going to be like, you have the sandbox, you have all these cutscenes, you have all these advancing relationships, you have all
and
of
then
these
you do the race.
And then you do the race with all of the weird conditions that happen. So it's like you find out everything got sabotaged and the race was super easy for you to win. So you have to win each race. Like this is like Hot Wheels, the Hot Wheels game. I've been playing a crap ton of it. That came out where it's like, at the major story beats, you have to get first place. There's no other option. So, but that's every race in this game. So you have to do the sandbox stuff and do the race. But if you fail the race, guess what? You go back to the sandbox and you got to figure out, okay, what is the optimum path or the optimum things I could be doing during this sandbox phase to give myself the best chances at the race. And I wonder if there's going to be people that would do like a pacifist run where they call it an honest run, where it's like they don't.
An honest run. I love that. No foul play, just spending money on car upgrades.
Yeah, and then that you just car upgrades and doing building your relationship with your team.
So again, the fish. Yes. The fish is just the swordfish is something that will be at each one of these different levels and will have so many uses.
There's just something so I like that, because there's something so weird about having your consistent item just be something so fucking random that you wouldn't. I don't think you'd see a swordfish at a racing thing. So it's like, okay, what are some of the things that we can? It starts off really simple. You can
first thing you can use a swordfish for is, of course, stabbing somebody.
But then
second thing you could use a swordfish for is eating. You could give it to a cool chef, and they will make a delicious meal for you.
AJ, small beans. This is like the next big thing you can do. Guess what? When you get to like the third or fourth race, you find out next to your swordfish, or like you go to the other person's pit, there's a spare uniform for your arch rival just sitting there. If you put the swordfish in that rival, in that outfit, they're gonna think that's the racer. And then guess what? You just have a swordfish driving on the racetrack. And for some reason, the car moves, but it's just not very good.
It's a good driver. Might I propose the idea that in one level, you can set the swordfish free and you gain a friend on the racetrack that will then let you park your car on top of him and he'll drive you through a big shortcut.
Whoa. It just gets really cartoony after a while. Okay, I dig that. I do dig that. But it's like everything else is realistic except for that one thing. Or like the swordfish just has this magical quality about it that allows it to just ignore certain realities. I love that. What are we calling this game?
Swordfish. What are we calling it?
Is it is there like what's a good slang word for a race?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched Fast and the Furious.
Car slang. Let me look this up. Ooh, dizzy is good for deuces. Oh man. Okay, clunker, heap, job. Ooh, I got one for you. Dizzy Daytona. Yeah. Dizzy Daytona
is not bad. Dizzy Daytona also sounds like a guy's name.
Oh, that's our main character, Dizzy Daytona. Okay, there it is, Dizzy Daytona.
Again, like everybody gets to play a character though, so I don't know if I'm feeling the idea. I think Dizzy Daytona is the name of the game. I don't think it's the character's name because it's a multiplayer game.
All right, that's fine. I mean, it's just like because we have the Daytona 500, so it's like this is just a wild and wacky version of the Daytona, or like some other.
I like Dizzy Daytona.
Dizzy Daytona. It rolls off the tongue. All right, hey, dude, that was fun. Let's go to patch notes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. Blake and I have some tragic news for you all this week. I'm so sorry.
Tragic for them, exciting for me. Fuck, dude, I'm going up to San Francisco to visit my best friend in the whole freaking world. And we thought about it, and we were like, oh, would it be cool to do an episode in person? We thought it would be nice just to, I think, turn this trip into something really healthy and not worry about it. Where AJ and I, because he and I haven't seen each other since like July, and that's like fucking forever ago. So we're just going to take some time. We're going to be hitting up the Anamaguchi concert. So if they play Cheap Shop, we're going to record it and put it on our Twitter. Like, because
it'll be great. I'm very excited for you to come down and visit. So no episode next week, but we will be back the week after, same as our normal schedule. If you'd like to see a little bit of us through the week, because you're going to miss us, then check out our YouTube channel. We have Let's Plays going up there throughout the week. We have 2 different series going on right now, which is the Mario 3D World playthrough and a playthrough of Project Tango, which is maybe one of my favorite games I've played in a while.
God, it's so much fun. We're actually getting close to finishing it. So if you want to go online and binge it and hang out with us for a little bit and watch us crack some jokes, we'd love to have you. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and listen to more Poppy, please. She's just so good, dude.
As always, our intro and outro music is Cheap Shop by Anamaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been one of your hosts, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rea.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
that should not be made.